And sorry, Axis. At the start, our goal is to get gear 5 as early as possible. To allow the car time to do that, we move left ever so slightly as we go under the start arch, and then avoiding any bump from being too tight, we then turn tightly right as we go through the checkpoint in the middle right. Getting tight to the black wall, hopefully with gear 4 already, then we drop down as smoothly as possible under the green and white arrow sign. We then steer from the right to the left as tightly as possible around the wall on the left. If we have done everything correctly, we should have gear 5 as we approach the Trackmania text on the left. Move over to the left of the slightly sloped transition block and closer to the middle of it than I was. Do a fast right tap before getting back on the left turn. The idea here is to keep the car flat on the ground across the top of the transition block as you turn left and take the whole of the booster with all tyres on the ground, while having achieved the tiniest unbalance in the car without airtime if possible, to enable you to start the first SD, which you want to keep in tight to the left all the way to the wall ride entry. You might even be able to get a short SD back to the right before the wall ride, but I chose not to add that complexity. Try to enter the wall ride with the car landing smoothly and mostly horizontal. You can SD in the wall ride, but I doubt I ever did it correctly despite tapping the nose down to the right and hoping for it. Our main goal here though is to get an exit line where we only just miss crashing the gap on the right, but simultaneously landing very early, ideally at the start of the downslope below the black line for minimum airtime. Begin the next SD as you cross the grass. You need to try and extend this one as far as possible, so don't go too tight into the right of the checkpoint. As the upslope begins, straighten the line for the shortest route through the pipe. I aimed just to the right of the TV screen, just to the right of the road gap after it, and then as the exit approaches towards the left of the grass where it meets the road gap. Here's a good start. Begin the SD when you cross the grass, again extending as far as you can to where the slope begins. Turn back to the left on the slope, aiming to enter the wall ride with the nose only slightly above horizontal, as close to the top of the protrusion on the left as possible without clipping it for the shortest route. Again, I am tapping left to bring the nose down, hoping for an SD in the wall ride, but the main goal is to bring the car down smoothly at the exit where the curve crosses back into the downslope without airtime. I missed it on this run, but as the car is flung to the left off the wall, steering sharply back to the right should initiate another speed slide to the right before the loop. Then take the loop from the right just about to the middle, as we only want to avoid the booster wall at the bottom, keeping middle left into the following checkpoint for the shorter line. The booster block is made of grass, so you need less steering to the left than you think to begin the next SD. Then straighten out into the pipe. I aim for a line just under the lights on the right, then close to the right where the two road gap edges are, before exiting down steering left at the start of the final TV screen. Controversial on this one, my chap was always telling me to not slide on the flat section at the bottom and to keep a tight line on the way up, but every time I did that I lost 30 speed up the hill to my Ghost. I was able to, although not on this run, get a line to fully speed slide the bottom flat section and all the way up the hill with a tight line into the next checkpoint and with the perfect speed slide angle. As I say, on this run, it's not a good demonstration of that. Over the drop down you should try and land ever so slightly facing left for the small SD to the left. Too far to the left though and you won't make it fully over the grass, so adjust the diagonal according to your speed. Then begin the SD to the right through the checkpoint and extend it as far as you can towards the next wall ride. For some reason I had trouble reliably getting this one started, so I always opted for a quick brake tap to guarantee it. Final wall ride here, and just like the others, enter as smoothly as possible with the nose just above the horizontal, tapping to the left on the way through, hoping for an SD, but most importantly looking for a line at the exit without airtime just under the roof. Exit the platform block in the very centre, steering to the right over the slight gap to begin another SD towards the loop. I missed it on this run, but the most important thing is to keep tight to the right where the black blocks are into the loop and keep close to the centre of the loop on the exit for the shortest line. It is possible to get another couple of SDs here by jumping to the right onto the booster with an SD to the left and then one back to the right again, but at this speed and on keyboard, I always opted for the safer option of just a couple of line correction taps to get through the poles and line up for the jump to the finish. Oh my god. 80!